Hello students, let us see this interesting problem from Pathfinder Physics. In this question, it is given that an asteroid of mass capital M explodes into a spherical homogeneous cloud in free space, right? So, there is a spherical cloud of dust of this asteroid, and due to the energy received by the explosion, the cloud expands and the expansion is spherically symmetric, right? So, this cloud is a sphere and the radius of the sphere is increasing all the time, but at any given time the density of the density remains uniform everywhere, right? So, this shape is always spherical, although the size of the sphere is increasing initially. So, at any given instant, the radius of the cloud is given as r naught. All of the particles on the surface are observed receding radially away, right? So, if this sphere is of course increasing, the radius is increasing, then of course these particles at the surface are actually moving radially outward and their velocity is also given, right? So, how should we solve this question? So, first of all, the conceptual part here. How should we solve this, at least before going into calculation and all? What is actually happening here, that let's say at any given moment this is the sphere of this cloud dust, right? So, this sphere is expanding. Why is it expanding? Because all the particles, all the dust particles inside this sphere have some kinetic energy, right? It is given in the question that these particles at the surface are moving radially outward, and since it has to maintain uniform mass density, all the particles inside will also be moving away, right? Maybe not with the same speed, but they will also be moving away such that they maintain a uniform density. But since all of these particles have kinetic energy, their kinetic energy is actually getting converted into potential energy. What kind of potential energy we are talking about? As the size of this sphere increases, we can assume this sphere to be a sphere of uniform mass density. So, it will have some kind of self energy, right. So, as the radius is increasing, we know the result of this self energy, that is equal to minus 3 g capital M square by 5r, right. So, as the value of r is increasing, this whole term is numerically decreasing, but since it is in the minus with the minus sign, so it is actually increasing, right. So, all this kinetic energy of these dust particles are actually getting converted into potential energy. You have to determine the final critical radius of this cloud dust when the expansion ceases. So, what happens when the expansion actually ceases? When the expansion ceases, actually there is no kinetic energy left with all these particles, right. So, all of the kinetic energy is actually going to increase the potential energy or the self energy of this system, right. So, for that, now the calculation part remains, and let us see how to determine and apply all this conservation of mechanical energy, etc. So, here at the initial instant, the particles at the surface are moving with velocity v naught, and the radius is equal to r naught, right. So, this radius is actually equal to r naught. So, there is a correction that I am making here. So, this outer radius is equal to r naught, and all these particles on the surface are actually moving away radially outward with velocity v naught. Let us consider a small inner sphere, right, a small sphere of radius small r, right, and all these particles on the surface of this small sphere, let us say, are moving with velocity v. So, we are actually calculating this v so that we can calculate the total kinetic energy, because we have to determine the kinetic energy or the velocities at some differential element that we have to take, right? So obviously we are going to take a differential element of this thin hemispherical shell of radius small r and thickness dr, right? So we are interested in determining the velocity v here, right? So how do we determine that? We can arrive at this result using the uniform density argument, right? So the ratio of the masses will be equal to ratio of the radius whole power 3, right? So from here, if we differentiate this whole term, this small m by capital M will remain constant. Why it will remain constant? Because we have just taken a hypothetical boundary over this inner sphere, right? So as all the particles are expanding, this inner sphere will also expand, but all the mass inside this inner sphere will remain uh, inside, right? So this ratio of the mass is not going to change, right? So if we just differentiate this term, here we are getting small dr by dt, that should be equal to radial velocity of these surface particle, right? So this should be equal to velocity of the surface particle at the inner spheres. So that is equal to v, and from here small m by capital M can be written as small r cube by capital R cube, r naught cube. From these two we get the value of v as small r v naught by r naught, right? So now is what is left is calculating the total kinetic energy, total initial kinetic energy, because the final kinetic energy is going to be 0, right? So for initial kinetic energy we can just take this element and we can write this half dm into v square, right? So mass of the element will be equal to volume into density. So this much volume, let's say density at this instant is rho, into velocity. Here v can be replaced with this term, and if we just differentiate it, integrate it and apply the limits from 0 to capital R, or rather it should be 0 to R naught, right? So this value comes out to be, if we just substitute the finally the value of capital M, so the total mass is not going to change, right? So this kinetic energy comes out to be 3 by 10 capital M into V naught square, right? So now we are applying the conservation of mechanical energy, that is initial kinetic energy plus initial potential energy equal to final kinetic energy plus final potential energy. So initial kinetic energy we have just calculated. Initial self energy of this sphere is equal to this much, minus 3 by 5 g capital M square by R naught, and finally there is no kinetic energy, and let's say the final radius at which the expansion actually ceases is equal to r, right? So all that is left is evaluation of value of r in terms of r naught and v naught square. So this is the final answer here.